Hi guys, it's Hugo and welcome back to another video. Today, time to make a review for a book that everyone is talking about, The Housemaid by Freida McFadden? Sorry, yeah. So, everyone is talking about this book and everyone is talking about this author. I see this author popping up like single book like almost every month, and I was like, okay, let's start listening to The Housemaid. So, this is a domestic thriller, and I didn't have big expectations because I was like, to be ish, not meow now, okay? So I had some of big expectations about this book, because of the people who were talking about so great, but I also had those expectations with other books that didn't work. So I was like, let's see how it goes. So the story comes from Millie, I believe. She's an ex-con. She was arrested and she lost her most recent child, and because of probation she found this job as a nanny and a housekeeper for a very rich family, the Winterfields. So we met Nina's daughter and her husband. So the story comes with that. She's going to live with them and she's going to this room, very small, very like not with a lot of windows in the top of a stairs, but everything's fine. And then she starts seeing some things that doesn't add up, some behaviors, some clashings, and some things that were like alarming and red flagged until the story continues. So I will not disclaim a lot about this book, as you know, because it's a thriller, so I cannot disclaim a lot. But I was not like, wow, because I could sense something was wrong. So from the beginning I had my theories, and my 3 theories were very on spot what could have been, you know. For example, it was not a surprise. When I say that, it's like, it was not a surprise because for all the books that I've read are thrillers, and all of the things I've read, I was like, okay, this is gonna be one of these ways. So option A was a thing, option B was another, option C was another. So I was like, okay, I have my 3 options, let's go with the flow. And when the revelation came, I was like, yeah, I'm not shocked, but I'm intrigued. And then with all the revelations of that, I thought the book is very well executed. Yes, the book is very captivating, and the characters in it create a very sense of wow. And I think that's why the book works so well and it has so high ratings. And especially if someone is not so into these type of thrillers. For example, John Mars being What Lies Between Us. Yes, What Lies Between Us. I think I was very much of the genre of this book. And I was like, okay, let's see on this perspective of who doesn't read thrillers a lot. It will be very fascinating. They will become like, oh, and every shocking revelation will come with that. For me, it was like, okay, that's interesting, that's an interesting take. And then we understand a little bit. I think the characters are very well designed and very well created in a way that you sense empathy by all of them, and you sense like you feel good around them, and you feel like you are interested in their stories and their connections. But yeah, I think without going into spoilers, I cannot disclaim it a lot more because everything else will be, everything come to a spoiler part. So I would say if you are new into thrillers, this is going to be a very great thriller for you. If you are into the thriller genre, especially in this type of thrillers, you will not be like, oh, I never see it coming, but you'll see things. You see how good a thriller is, you know? You'll be like, yeah, it's a good thriller, it's very good, very different, but it's not gonna be like, because you will be expecting something like that to happen, you know? So I hope you guys enjoy it. I'll leave it here for the spoiler part because I think I will need to explain a little bit myself. So if you have no interest in reading this book, or if you read it and you want to see the spoiler part, this is your warning. I hope you guys enjoy it. I post videos once a week and I see you guys there. Like, comment, subscribe, and let's go to spoilers. Okay, so Nina portrays herself as a crazy woman, right? To Millie, and even the daughter tries to do that, like she's allergic to peanut butter, although she's not allergic to peanut butter. And Millie starts going like, Nina, it's crazy, and how could she like be so self-destructive and have so handsome and awesome husband? So she starts to have feelings for her boss, and her boss tries to, you know, get in her to her panties. And so Nina goes out of town to leave Celie, I think it's Celie, the name of the child, off to a camp, and they go to a theater because Nina is not there, and they hook up, and then he feels sorry, but then he broke things with Nina because Nina goes into this thing, and Nina leaves the house. And then once the book breaks, and you go to Nina's perspective, and she's like, how do I leave an abusive husband and like a manipulator? And you were like, oh, so this is all part of the plan. Oh, so I've been deceived like Gone Girl style, you know, when you think like it was just Nina being crazy, and I was like, no. So, going back to my theories, I had a theory that it was a plot of both of them. Like, the husband and some sort of kinky, and they would try to find a sex slave and things like that to come and to be part of, you know, the house and things like that. That was my first perspective. Then I thought like Nina is definitely crazy, but then there was something about her husband that I was like, something is bothering me. You know, so a sixth sense. I was like, he's too perfect, and there is no such thing as a perfect person. So I was like, maybe he's trouble. Maybe he's like crazy. And that when it comes, I was like, yeah, now I see it. And you see how messed up it is. He's so messed up to a point that he had to put, I think it's Millie with books in top of her belly and bruise her for hours because she didn't put the books on the right place. Nina, because she forgot to bleach her hair, she had to poke out from the root. He had to have the root 100 hairs so she could see her daughter. He drugged her daughter and tried to frame Nina as a crazy person. You know, all of this was like insane. And we go like, okay, Millie's in trouble, and Nina now is free, so she's going to save Celie. And then Nina comes back because Millie, who is smart enough, and Nina was not so hard on Millie, you know, she feels bad for her, but he's like, it's my survival versus another person's survival, so yeah. And she knew like Millie was a strong person, and she gave her some tools, like for example pepper spray to attack, I think Miles, I don't know, but to attack the husband and then flee. And then Nina is like, Millie is like, I'm gonna make you suffer like you did to me. You know, like, I'm gonna make you suffer, I'm gonna make you take this, and now you take it. Like, Millie is also very sadistic to a point that you see that she's not totally a good person as she seems to be, because the reason why she got to jail is because she saved a woman from being sexually assaulted, or she was being sexually assaulted, and she killed that guy with a thing on, banged his head, and he died. So that's why she was in jail. But at the same time, when you're reading the last parts where she's torturing the husband, I was like, you also enjoy this, kinda, don't you? So you said this, it's nothing that would not expect the husband to be like something like that, because the books are, the problem with thrillers is that thrillers are very predictable. The thrillers are very, very formulaic, you know. You have a formula, you have a setting, and you cannot find other things, you know. On that occasion, it has to be both are in it for something for her, she's in it because she's crazy, or he's in it and the other is just going insane or something like that. So you could not diverge more than that, you know. I think I'll never put the child as the reason, but yeah, I think for someone who doesn't like thrillers or who doesn't read a lot, this would be a great book. For me, it was just a very interesting story. I think I will not bump up to a 5-star. It was a solid 4.5 maximum, because I really enjoy how it's setting. But then the end was like, this is just... And then there are sequels, and okay, let's go chill with the sequels and the other books. But I was very captivated by the writing style, by the characters. Overall, it was a very good experience, yes. Especially the end, where Nina is living her life and she buries her husband. But interesting is, and I think this is the point that I most dislike this book. Yeah, I remember now. So, Millie kills the husband. Nina goes to the house because she felt guilty because of the Italian who helped her escape, and so she goes there to try to save Millie. Millie is fine, but the husband is dead, so they need to find this. And so they say, Millie, go out because you have a record, I don't, I'll play like this. And so Nina thought that, okay, this is the last time I'm gonna see my daughter because I'm going to jail. Coincidence of coincidence, the detective is not on the payroll of the husband's family, which is rich, and he's kind of the father of a daughter. He's the father of a girl who was also abused by this guy, but not like as Nina style, but who like was very. She's not very traumatized by this, so he's like, let's call it an accident. I was like, this is bullshit, because the probability of that happen is low, and is like, okay, this is just to give overall an happy ending, and I think that is the only thing, like, this is just plot convenience. It's not like something that could happen, or if it could happen is like 1 in 1 million or in 10 million, because what are the odds? Very, very low. So I was like, okay. But then I think, so that is the part I most dislike, but I remember now, one of the things I want to talk about too. See, that's why I should start structuring reviews, but I also don't like because it gives me extra work and from time that I don't have. So, but on the funeral, going back, she plans the funeral for her husband and the husband's mother come, and he has pulled off some teeth, and we discovered that he's abusive like this, and this punishes because he was like this as a child, because of his mother, because she was like, you did well, Nina, because he didn't brush his teeth, so he has to be punished. You see, like, this is a family thing. I was like, oh my god. Not that you feel sorry for that, but it's like, yeah, no wonder he's like that. He could not be normal after that, so, it's like, it's not excused, but it's like, there is the reason. It's because the mother is also fucked up. I was like, oh my god. I don't know. Like, overall, I think the book is fine. It's good. I enjoy it. Probably gonna see more about the authors, especially in other books. I don't know if I'm gonna continue the Housemaid universe, because at some part, I think, like, it's ended. We give that Millie goes to another house because Nina tells the woman she could help with the problem, which the problem is the husband being abusive. But at the same time, I'm like, will be this different, or we follow the same character? I haven't read synopsis and anything, but I'm like, if it's gonna be like the same formula, it's gonna be boring soon. But the other ones, the teacher and the things I'm more interesting about, so I'll probably read more about the author. But this one was a very good experience. I really enjoyed the audiobook. I was really connect to the story. I was really engaged with it, so I will recommend it. And because I remember working and liking to listening and wanted to listening, so it's not that it's not engaging. Like, the twists are just, for someone who I think has a twisted mind enough to see, or like, okay, it's good, it's not like so predictable, but it's also nothing, like, okay? So I hope you guys enjoy it. Like I said in the middle, I try to post content at least once a week on Sundays or on Wednesdays, but I'll try to post twice a week. I hope you guys might like my content. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow for more, and I'll see you guys in my next video, okay? Bye.